Today we're talking about how the INFJ makes a successful career jump. See, most of the time when INFJs want to jump careers or they want to change a field, let's say you've been in the academic world and now you want to go into the industry, or you say, I just want to change like whatever it is because currently I'm not happy. Very often it has something to do that the current position doesn't challenge you. So you feel like you're just doing the bare minimum and it's enough. Like it's comfortable, but it has been comfortable for too long. On the other hand, there are reasons like you are not being appreciated. You feel like your coworkers don't understand you, or your mentors, the people that you work for. That could also be a reason. And the third reason, which is also something that I hear very often, is that you're not in a field that represents something where you can apply your gifts. So it's those three things. And if you combine them all together, you can create an amazing result into what you're going. But most of the time, if we dare to make a career change or a jump, it is something like, okay, what is actually available? What am I able to get here? And so you jump maybe not far enough, or you jump into the wrong direction, or you don't dare to jump in the first place because of the unknown. Today we're going to talk about how to find that perfect balance, how to find that perfect match for you that will allow you not only to be happy, but also to grow and to feel like you're expanding into the next best version of yourself. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you want to take the next step in creating your INFJ epic life, then work with me privately. All the information you find the link in the description. The way our cognitive functions are set up and the way they work together is making us want to optimize whatever we're in. That's just our nature. We synthesize things, we minimize what's going on, we optimize everything possible. And that, of course, leads to us naturally wanting to do the least amount necessary in any task we do. Very often you hear people say, oh, that's because INFJs are lazy or they don't want to be productive, when in the end, it's exactly the other way around. It's that we're so attuned to how can we make this better? How can we make this more precise? How can we optimize it? That we function with this mindset without even thinking about it. It's on autopilot. And that's why you very often get in a position where things get boring or where things are just going on autopilot and you don't feel like you're growing. And then you get to this dilemma because we think, okay, another field, maybe I have to do things I don't want to do. It will require me to work more. I don't want to be working more. That's not what I'm about. Or you feel like if I would go that direction, that it's only because, society tells me to do this. Or very often I hear people say, there just isn't a job for me that I'm going to like. No matter what, people don't appreciate me, people don't understand me, and therefore I don't get to do what I want. I don't get to be myself, and I just cannot grow. I'm just stuck at this little place. And I'm here to tell you that it's definitely not the case. There's always an opportunity. There always is. It's not like you're living in this tiny little city and there's no way for you to look out of that. There's no way to have any kind of possibilities. You just have to choose between those three positions. We're not living in that situation anymore. And very often it's not even necessary for you to move states or anything like this. But imagine for a moment that you're probably not aware of all the opportunities that are in front of you. Because the way we function as human beings, and this is not just an INFJ thing, is that we protect ourselves. We keep ourselves in our comfort zone. So certain things that might be right in front of our noses, we're not even aware of. We carry on so much additional trauma or negative thoughts, worry, that we probably aren't able to see the next opportunity that is right in front of us. And if you're in that position, the main thing I can recommend to you is to go for something where you're not able, if you're going to be able to handle it. This is the most important thing here. If you jump too close to home, you're not going to challenge yourself. And most of all, you'll not see where your limits are at. If you think about where you're at and you want to change certain situations and you feel like, well, yes, that would require more input. It would require me to be more productive. I might have to do things that I don't love. So why should I do that? I tell you why you should do that. Because you already know that what you're currently doing isn't working for you. You've already reached everything you can reach within this position. Remember, we as INFJs want to grow. And you know very well when you're in the growth process. And you know also when you've been in a position position where there's no room to grow, either because the circumstance doesn't allow it or because you've actually learned everything there is to learn. And I'm not just talking about like the topic of the work. I'm talking about how you are going to function within this environment, how you can optimize it for yourself and get the best out of it. That's what our main thing is, no matter what kind of job you're in, no matter what kind of industry you're in, or if you're working by yourself, for yourself, or with a group of people, that's our main goal. And as long as we get to grow that part of us, we feel satisfied, because every single time you get to grow, you are able to grasp the next bigger thing. That's what I'm saying. Just imagine that there is something amazing right in front of you and you're just not able to grasp it, you're not able to see it because you haven't grown into that space. And the best way to get there, the best way to grow, is to put ourselves in circumstances where we have to grow in order to make it work. Remember, we want to optimize, we want to minimize, we want to specialize and synthesize. And if you're putting yourself in a situation that at first you don't know how you're going to handle it because it requires more of you, it might feel scary, but it will make you become the next bigger version of yourself. You will be able to handle it because at first you will be bombarded with all this energy. You're going to be working with people who are way more productive than the people you used to work with before, because again, this is a level up. It's not just a matter of you changing industries. No matter what you take on, it should be something that challenges you more than the last thing. If you are in a job that has been so challenging to you and you just feel like I cannot handle this, then this is a different scenario. But most of the time we say I cannot handle it because of the people. I don't want to handle it because there are things I just don't want to be doing here. Or you say, I've already learned everything I can here. I don't have any room to grow here. Those are most circumstances that make INFJs want to jump careers. And that's what we have to become aware of. You need to find your limits, because only when you find your limits, you can actually grow from that. You can see how far you can stretch yourself. If you're only going a safe distance in a way where you still feel comfortable, you're not going to become that person who's able to manage the bigger level up. So if you think about it, okay, I want to make more salary, for example. Yes, in 95% of the cases, it will require more energy out of you. But if it's something that is more in alignment with who you want to be, it will be easier for you. That's the whole thing. It's not like you can make so much money and it doesn't take any amount of work. You know, very often you hear this, but what people really misunderstand in that moment is that very often it requires more energy, not necessarily more time, but more energy, more power behind it, making things happen. But you grow from that. You as a person learn, now it's time for me to let go of things, of worries, of people, of, you know, whatever it is that's going on in my mind that is keeping me from becoming that next bigger version of myself, who I have to become in order to be able to manage this position. So you want to challenge yourself, you put yourself in these situations. Similarly, if you want to grow your muscles, what do? You put resistance in front of you. You take on like weight, right? You carry it, it burdens you, it is too much at that moment, and then your muscle grows to such an extent that it can carry it. The same thing happens to you when you make that jump. So even if you're in a position where you say, there is no job that I'm aware of, or no position or nothing that I could do that would fulfill me more than what I do now, but this still isn't enough, then still go for the position that will challenge you. Because once you're there, once you're able to handle that bigger thing, I can guarantee you, you'll be in a position where you can see what the next step for you will be. And that probably will be something that will fulfill you more. I can give you an example of my career path. So I first started in consulting. I was somewhere in the middle gear. And then once I said, okay, now I'm starting to do my channel, but this is something that's going to take longer, I need to challenge myself, because at that work, I had learned everything. I was a derivative expert by the age I was 26. I had learned everything I could learn there. There was nothing that could challenge me, and it was time to move on. And so I went somewhere where the people around me were that much better at their tasks than I could ever be. And I knew long term this isn't going to be enough. But through that process, I became so much bigger as a person. I was then able to say, now I have the strength to leave my job and start my own business. That's the best thing I could have done for myself. And for the longest time, I didn't want to make that jump to the next higher level, because I always told myself, well, I don't want to be working more. This is not the career path that I see for my future. But I didn't know what else I could do. That was the best thing that I could think of. And it gives you a chance for things to change. You already know what your currently doing isn't giving you any chances. Otherwise, you wouldn't be thinking about the career jump. So make it happen and go for something that might be too big for you. It might take you longer than you expect to be able to manage it, but once you do, you know you can do it. You have learned how to manage that situation. That's how we grow. We put ourselves in a situation where we have to handle more resistance, and that makes us grow. And that will give you also that much more insight how you can use that new gained energy to do something that is maybe more in alignment with what you want. If you're already at a bigger energy level, you will know that much more what the step is going to be that will make you more fulfilled. No doubt about it. I have experienced it. I've experienced it with my clients, and you don't know what is in store for you unless you take that jump. If you want to know more about this process, then watch the video, The 100K INFJ.